End of the game here at São Januário. A frustrating draw for the Vasco team, for the Vasco fans. Vasco won, Mirasol also won here on this Saturday night. For the more than 10,000 people present, just over 10,000 fans here at São Januário on this Saturday night for the 20th round of the Brazilian Championship. Now, Pedro Emmanuel has 3 games in charge of Vasco with 2 draws and 1 loss, a pretty bad start, right? Nothing encouraging for the Portuguese coach leading the Vasco side. This was actually his debut here at the Caldeirão, his first game, and it was a very frustrating draw. Well, in the first half, Mirasol dominated the match, a much more clear-headed team with a set style of play, both fullbacks pushing up a lot when building from the back. That made things really tough for Vasco. Igor Formiga on the right and Reinaldo on the left, and it was actually Igor Formiga who scored the goal at the 30th minute of the first half from a corner taken by Reinaldo. Here on the right side of Vasco's defense, he sent in a low cross to the near post. The ball went past 2 Vasco defenders. Leo Jardim couldn't make the save either, and Igor Formiga put that ball in, making it 1-0 for Mirasol in the first half. Vasco improved a bit in the last 5 minutes of the first half, but it wasn't enough. Halftime. Coming back for the second half, Vasco managed to balance the match a little more. The team was a bit more clear-headed. But it's still frustrating for the fans because you still can't see a playing style. You still can't see that the players know each other, that the team has some passing combinations, some off-the-ball movement. You can't see that from Vasco yet. Still under the command of Pedro Emmanuel, he made a lot of changes. In the second half, for example, he changed the entire midfield. Yeah, but even so, Vasco still couldn't leave here with a win. There was a goal disallowed there around the 15th minute of the second half. Yeah, a long ball too that Mirasol's defense missed. The ball fell to Spinelli, who was in an offside position. And then David, who had just come into the game, also on his first touch of the ball, put it in, but the play had already been ruled out. It was still kind of an ugly, hard-fought game from both sides. Mirasol was a little better in the match, had the best chances, was more clear-headed with the ball, looked for passes, made accurate passes, and Vasco wasn't. Vasco was too anxious, and the fans lost their patience, right? Playing here is complicated. The fans can either support you or turn against you. And in that situation, the team got a bit more nervous, but managed to score their goal at the end of the match in the final stretch around the 30th minute of the second half. Vasco equalized through Andres Gomes. Andres Gomes, who got the ball after a cross from the left side of Vasco's attack, picked up the ball on the right, entered the box, cut inside, and curled a beautiful shot into the top corner to tie the game. Final score, Vasco won, Mirasol won. A head-to-head clash near the bottom of the table, right? Both teams remain in the bottom 4, still inside the relegation zone. A very bad result for Vasco, a frustrating draw here at home, here in São Januário. Why? Like I said, it was a head-to-head relegation clash, both teams fighting to breathe, to pull themselves out of the relegation zone, but it wasn't possible. So Pedro Emmanuel will have a lot of work to do in the coming days to try to fix this Vasco, to try to give this Vasco a new identity and a style of play, which is the most important thing. Well, both teams, as I said before, remain in the relegation zone in this 20th round of the Brazilian Championship.